So as I just showed you over there, working on the hip rafters, so what I'm going to show you over here is how we lay them out and how we cut them. So the first thing I've done is I've made myself a pattern here. That's my bird's mouth. That's the right pitch for the roof we're working on with the overhang we want. In our case, we're not putting any fascia trim on this. It's going to be boarded up here and shingled, and these are going to be exposed. So we've cut it square to the board just to make our life easy. And we've made it about 10.5 inches to the bird's mouth, or 11 inches that way, however you want to look at it. And we're keeping this around. We have our measurements up there every set, and the good thing is, being a hip roof, all 4 sides are the same, so we literally need 4 lefts and 4 rights of every one of those measurements. And as you can see over here, this is what they're going to look like when they're done. So that's a bookmark set, so that would go on each side of the hip rafter like that. And we'll show you as we get going. So what we're doing here is we're laying out some more. I'm going to cut my bird's mouth, and then we're going to cut some lengths here. So you grab the skill saw, and we'll make some cuts, and then we'll show you how we lay it out. Now when you make your bird's mouth cut, you can do it a couple ways. You can cut just to the line, take your sawzall and finish it, or you can overcut. There's really no stress or strain on this, so I tend to overcut. It's just a personal preference. It looks neater, I guess, if you sawzall. Now we're going to go cut 2 on the other end. So then what we're going to do is, we know we have our short ones, we know we have our second set, and somewhere right here I have one for the third set. We're going to go ahead and take a couple of our longest ones out of this, which are 107.25, and what we've done, and we can show you when we get over there, but we've measured from the corner of the top of the wall to the actual hip rafter where they're going to land. So we're going to cross the board, and this is going to be the long. So I'll show you what I mean by that in just a minute. And you'll also notice that I've got my rafters opposite of each other. It just makes it so much easier for me, because it's so hard for me to remember how to flip over as I go. I'm going to do 50.5. This one I'm only going to be able to get a 28 1/8 out of, because I had to cut some off the other end of the board. And this is where it gets a little interesting, because your mind plays games on you. When this rafter comes up against that hip rafter, you've got, it's a little hard to explain here, but you got your hip rafter going up something like that, going up to the middle of the building. This rafter has to come up against it. So the angle that we're marking on the board down here is going to be the pitch of our rafter, which is in our case a 5.5 12. And I don't have that very accurate, but this angle across the board is going to be a 45, because we're going 90 degrees. So that's the part that usually trips people up, is they wouldn't think this is a 5/12 down here, or a 5.5 12, but it's the same angle that you cut on your bird's mouth and everything else. So let's go ahead and mark that out and cut it. And I try to keep my match sets and piles so I don't cut too many lefts and not enough rights. So we said these marks are all our long. So we're going to bring our square over until we're 5.5 or 25 degrees. Make our mark. Do the same thing over here. 5.5 or 25-ish degrees. So right there, right in between 5 and 6. And then because we're doing the other one, you see, I almost screwed that one up. There we go. And we're doing this one. So let me grab my skill saw. I have to set the skill saw for 45, which is down in here. And again, if it's helpful, you know, if you have to think about this, we know this is our long, so know that angle is cutting back that way. So we put our saw down there, the blade's pitched back that way, so we know we can go right through that direction. I have a bit of an interesting issue here in that I have some of my wood is a little thicker than my skill saw will cut on a 45. Clean it up with the sawzall. So there's another set. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and cut 2 more sets of everything, and then we'll bring you back and show you how we install these.